Hey everybody, how you doing? Hey, how do you like the new background here, huh? Not bad, huh? I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope the week is progressing for you uh, quite successfully, and I hope that you are able to at least stomach the news that you're hearing about what's going on in Washington to some degree. Well, I pray for the families of the victims of the uh, helicopter crash into American Airlines Flight 5342. But that is not what I am here to talk about with you. I am here to talk about, well, this kind of says it, right? This thumbnail. It's about the Oakland mayoral election, or some call it the Oakland Mayor's race, and the two top candidates, they say, Barbara Lee, former Congresswoman, legendary Congresswoman, versus former Oakland District 6 Councilmember Loren Taylor. Right. So you would say, all right, what's this whole deal about rope-a-doping? And I would say, well, I'm glad you asked. Uh, Basically, it goes like this. Barbara Lee might be new to the local Oakland government, but she's proving that she's a savvy politician who's learned a thing or two or three about campaigns over her decades in the game. You want proof? I'll give you former Oakland Councilmember Loren Taylor, the once District 6 council member and now challenger to the would-be mayor of Oakland, and former Congresswoman Barbara Lee in the Oakland special election, who took the bait that Barbara put out. In an email sent to supporters recently and observers, Loren has not asked me for my support of his campaign. He posted comments about Lee's recent appearance before the Wellstone Democratic Club, an organization that I was once a member of, I might add. Loren wrote this email headline. Take note, folks. Barbara Lee admits she doesn't know city government. That's what he wrote. And based on the entry of what appears to be a doctored video intended to make Congresswoman Lee look bad, former Congresswoman Lee, and indicating that Loren has hired someone to go after her online. Read. This is what Loren put out there. Loren and his team. Also concerning, this is Loren's voice, was her suggestion that she is only running for mayor because people asked her to run. Oakland, we have seen this before, and we know the results. This is what Loren wrote. He continues with, she stated that she hasn't done mayor yet. The job of Oakland mayor should not be a checkbox on a political resume, Loren writes. Loren says that Oakland has seen this before, right? But he doesn't say from who. He puts actually in bold letters, too. If he's talking about the late former Congressman Ron Dellums, that's a completely stupid and very ugly statement to make. But Loren has made a lot of errors, and Barbara's people are content to let him do it. But let me double down on why I say it's a very insulting thing to do to Congressman Dellums. Well, first of all, he's passed away. Second of all, he has a long record of success in Congress that has led to, among other things, the reshuffling of defense spending that was designed to, in its wake, benefit communities. And if you take a national look at it, that's precisely what's going on. Now, as Oakland mayor, he lasted for one term. It wasn't quite what he expected. It was, I think some would say that it was a bit too much work for what he was prepared to do at the time, and his travel schedule showed that he would have preferred to be more in a place where he could stretch in the wing and relax. He was under a lot of stress. But Ron Dellums did a number of good things while in the short time that he was mayor. Among them, he brought proper attention to the need to develop the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum complex and sparked really sparked the development move has led to the African American Sports and Entertainment Group's purchase of the Coliseum property just recently. Well, technically, they're still in the middle of consummating this and that, but you know what I'm saying. That deal is going to go through. That started with Ron Dellums. So when Loren says, we've seen that before, Ron didn't really do a bad job. Ron came along at a time of great turmoil in the city of Oakland and was in a position that I think any mayor of Oakland would have found challenging, regardless of their politics. Period. Now, anyway, Loren did not, double down and say, okay, this is exactly what I mean, okay? He didn't do that. And Loren himself has made a lot of errors, and Barbara Lee's people are just content to let him do it. The one thing that Barbara knows is that she has a Google Trends advantage over Loren of 97% to just 3% for him. Now, what's Google Trends? Google Trends is an online app that Google created way back in 2008 that allows you or me or anybody else to see, well, basically what the interest is in any search term I might think of to check out. So you compare Loren Taylor and Barbara Lee, you'll find that the Congresswoman has, or former Congresswoman, has a 97% to just 97, not percent, but 97 to 3 advantage. And that has to be noted. 97 is a measure of magnitude of search, but it can be expressed in a percentage. So in other words, as of the total number or volume of searches, she controls 97% of them. So I should basically explain it as I just did. All right. Basically, Loren has all the online power of an ant compared to the H-bomb power of Barbara Lee online. There's no other way to put it right now, folks. It just is, okay? So Barbara Lee is really just rope-a-doping Loren, letting him take all the shots, sitting back, just leaning back against the ropes, leaning back, just letting him just go to town. And that refers to a strategy used by the immortal one, as I call him, Muhammad Ali. The idea was to exhaust the opponent and cause the opponent to be so weak that Ali could just zero in for the kill, the opponent having tired himself out. Congresswoman Lee, former Congresswoman Lee, is leaning on the ropes, letting Taylor just have at her, knowing that none of his shots will really stick, none of them will hit, and she's doing it all with a relaxed smile. Loren's staff is clearly, and I just have to say this candidly, kind of, out of their league a little bit here in handling the Barbara Lee challenge. Just got to call it as I see it. She is eating his lunch without even trying. The key to beating Congresswoman Lee really is there, if you wants to see it, and it's right in the campaign's collective face, but they currently lack the mindset to do it. Can they alter approach? Well, time will tell. All right, time will tell. But as I see it, right now, or the way Barbara's going, and it's early in the campaign. Remember, the mayoral election is not until tax day, April 15th. This is January 30th. This is the last day of January. Tomorrow is February 1st. And by the way, Ricky Henderson's memorial is at the Coliseum Arena. So please check it out and pay your respects to the great Ricky Henderson, who passed away at 64, way too early in his life. Very sad. And very sad. Now, you might have some other ideas about candidates and say, okay, what about, well, who? All right. I recently interviewed Elizabeth Sweeney. Interesting. We're supposed to do a follow-up one of these days. Peter Liu is going to come on. Remember Peter Liu, who had the gun and Said all the outrageous things that got him mentioned in not a kind way on Jimmy Kimmel the first time he ran. I think it was back in 2018. And we've got altogether 13 candidates. We have Tyson Jordan, who seems to think he can win strictly on Twitter, and maybe just walking around a bit, right? And we then have other people, like, for example, a number of people who, well, a lot of folks have never heard of, all right, and whose name recognition is basically, that's it. And then there's Barbara, who's like this, okay, all right. She would say, is that what it takes? Name recognition? Well, name recognition is a big deal in politics. And Loren's got to figure out a way to square the circle, solve the equation of how he, the David, challenges the Goliath that is Barbara Lee. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com. That ends the stream.